Ansel Adams was born on the 20th of February, 1902 in the city of San Francisco, California. Although his family was wealthy at the time of his birth, they would ultimately lose everything in the financial crisis of 1907.
At the end of the day, by the time his grandfather died in 1907, the family was pretty flat, busted.
Enamored with nature from an early age, Adams first visited the Yosemite Sierra area in 1916. He kept returning to the area and eventually joined the Sierra Club in 1919 when he was only 17 years old.
It's a place where you're small. But where being small is not a bad thing. Where being small is actually a wonderful thing. If you look at Ansel's photographs, the photographer, wherever he stands, is clearly tiny.
1927 was a big year for Ansel Adams, both creatively and professionally. He made his first fully visualized photograph, Monolith, the Face of Half Dome, still regarded as a classic today.
Those pictures looked unlike other pictures. If you wanted to try to define the content of it, I think you'd have to say it has to do with his appreciation of the landscape as something that's not permanent but evanescent, always in the process of becoming something else.
That same year, Adams also met two very important figures in his life. Albert Bender, whose friendship and patronage would allow Adams to move into photography as a career, and Edward Weston, with whom he would found the F-64 Club in 1932.
What happens is Ansel comes along and he started this group called the F-64 group, and they were really a divorce from that. And their whole methodology, in fact, they had a manifesto that called for quote-unquote pure photography. So what they were trying to do was basically let photography be photography, let the techniques come from within that.
Adams was famed in his time as an innovator with a superhuman work ethic.
I never met anyone who worked as hard as he did, never took a day off, never took a vacation. Well, Ansel had a sort of manic side where he would just push himself work-wise at 20 hours a day, or even all night for several days to finish an assignment.
It was his relentless devotion that allowed him to develop and perfect techniques such as burning and hiding, or the zone system that revolutionized the art of photography. Ansel Adams was also renowned as an environmentalist, with his images often being viewed as symbols for the Sierra Club and the beauty of nature itself.
First of all, at that point, people didn't think the environment was a terribly important issue.
He wanted to be politically active as well, and he wanted his art to have a commitment and a sense of purpose beyond creating beautiful objects.
However, he never made a creative photograph for purely environmental reasons.
And he never set out to take a picture for an environmental purpose, but he could go out and take a picture and show you how he felt about this incredible landscape. And then it could be used in many different ways.
Almost all of the landscapes he has photographed have been preserved because of those very photographs. Ansel Adams died on the 22nd of April, 1984 in Monterey, California. He will be remembered as one of the greatest pioneers of the art.